Hello, this is Brandon P.T. Davis, and in this Vectorworks tutorial, we will discuss sheet layers. A sheet layer is a layer within Vectorworks that the user will use to lay out a page for printing. We had discussed in a previous video design layers and how they are like pages, and sheet layers are pages. In order to access the sheet layer from the navigation palette, we will click on the icon that looks like a piece of paper with a folded corner. Currently in the document, we have one sheet layer. That sheet layer is numbered 1 and titled Sheet Layer 1. To access the sheet layer, I'm going to click next to the sheet number to toggle to the sheet layer. Currently, we are zoomed into the sheet layer. To see the full page, I will click Fit to Page Area in the top zoom icons. In the template, you will notice that the sheet layer has a border and title block preloaded. I can modify the sheet layer by right-clicking and going to Edit. In the sheet layer dialog, you'll see you can modify the sheet number, the sheet title, the stacking order, and the raster rendering DPI. I'm going to call this sheet layer Wall Elevation. I will retain the sheet number as 1 and press OK. Please note that within the title block, the sheet number and the sheet title are auto-generated through the title block manager. We will go into more specifics on the title block manager in another tutorial video. To add another sheet layer, I can right-click and select New. This sheet layer, I'm going to number 2 and type in Details. And press OK. What you'll notice is that I just have the outline of the page without the border or title block. To insert a border and title block, you can go to the Dimension and Notes tools and scroll to the title block border tool. In the title block border style, I can click UTEP basic title block to load the title block and click on the center. Now I have the title block installed. Now that the title block is installed, you will notice the sheet title corresponds with the sheet title. You will notice the sheet title corresponds with the title we entered in the navigation palette. In order to add our 2D drafting to the sheet layer, we will first go back to the design layer. In the design layer, I have this drawing of a wall with a top view, a section, and a front elevation. To transfer the information from the design layer to the sheet layer, you first want to create a rectangle crop around the item that you want to be displayed. I'm going to start with the front elevation. With the rectangle still highlighted, I will now go to View, Create Viewport. The dialog says, the selected object may be used as a viewport's crop. Do you want to use this as a crop? Click Yes. Now a Create Viewport dialog will appear. There is a number of settings that we can modify. The first is Name Viewport Drawing Number Sheet Number. I will go ahead and leave this icon clicked. We're going to create layers on Sheet 1 Wall Elevation, create a drawing label, we're going to use the style that is built into our file. In the drawing number dialog, I'm going to write 2, and in the drawing title, I will write wall front and press OK. In the navigations palette, with the viewport selected, you will note the scale is currently set to 1/4 inch. We can modify the scale by clicking the scale drop-down. I'm going to change this to 1/2 inch scale. Now that I've shown you how to modify the scale of a viewport, I want to show that you can also update the drawing title and number in the Object Info palette. At the bottom of the Object Info palette, you see this name. This is the name of the viewport. If we look in the navigation next to the sheet layers is the viewport. Here is the viewport 2.1, which is the same viewport that I have selected. I recommend putting a small name by the viewport, like wall front. As your drawing package gets more complex, having this information will help you identify a viewport from the viewport navigation. Now I'm going to add the plan view to the drawing. Now I'm going to go back to the drawing layer. I'm first going to redraw the crop and have the crop selected and press Control or Command apostrophe to create the viewport. This time I'm going to go ahead and name the viewport manually 1-1 wall plan. I will update the drawing title to wall plan, and I can also change the scale to 1/2 inch scale and press OK. Directly above our viewport, we have the wall plan viewport. This concludes the Vectorworks tutorial on sheet layers. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.